I'm starting my recording.
Okay, we are actually today we're taking precaution because last time I almost lost the Hangout. Uh, so this time Ankalagon is basically recording on his computer, and I am recording using Snappy OpenPods. I'm going to be recording audio, and Anka's going to be recording video. So in the post, we're just going to do both. And of course, Anka, I didn't tell you this, but you're going to be in the beneficiaries because both you're hanging out with me. We're going to talk about
Yay!
some of the ideas, and also you're working. You're putting some effort in. So
I'm on
of course
clock,
you're going to
yeah, officially.
do. So yeah, I mean, I wish Tim Fox was here today because he's been putting a lot of work in as well. But he is trying to, and I think this is probably a really good thing. He's trying to balance out his online life with his real life or whatever meet in-person activities, and he's been really working on his garden lately. He actually posted a video yesterday about this stuff, and I think he wanted to dedicate the weekend to this. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about what he's been doing. Some stuff of course we're doing together, but some stuff he's doing all by himself. Um, so I guess I'm going to start with Tibbs, and I'll invite him to maybe um, give give me things to put on the post itself, and that way people know more. uh, but for those who don't know, right, currently in Mantequilla Soft, it is basically Tip Fox and I, and Ankalagon has been helping me too. The current team, those are the people that are working. Eddie's on sabbatical, and Queso Link is getting married. I think that's pretty awesome, but of course, that means that he has no time for anything. And yeah, that's how things are right now. So it's just two of us. But that doesn't mean that not that we're not progressing, that a lot of work is not being done. We're actually, I think it's quite the opposite. We sped up, maybe trying to overcompensate for the team getting smaller, maybe, who knows. um, but we've been shipping a lot of code. So one of the things that I've been doing with Uncle Lagon is we've been really focusing on making Snappy.io better, a better front end. As I was sharing, this is before the recording started. Snappy.io is uh, a fork from Mengao's breakaway communities. If you were to visit Mengao's profile on Hive, I think it's maybe third or fourth post because he hasn't posted in a while, where he talks about his breakaway communities and how you can launch your own if you wanted to using Vercel for free, which is pretty awesome. You can have your own Hive front end. But of course, it's been a long path between what it was when the whole thing started and the basic functions of the breakaway community, which of course is posting snaps, blogs, and basic wallet functions, to what we have now. We have uh, video recording, audio recording, open pods. We're doing one right now. Uh, we have explore features that I did this week, and other stuff that in order for me to cover in this audio, I'm not going to do audio and video. I'm not going to do a good job, and I'm probably going to leave a lot of them out. So if you haven't visited Snappy.io, I think you should. But my friend Anka Galagon has been suggesting even more crazy ideas, and I wanted to ask him if he could, I guess, explain what he was saying earlier before we started recording, of the idea that he has, that he thinks we should
About what
implement.
particular? In particular?
Um, yeah, well, there's a few things that you were working on. One of them was the ability for people to qualify. I guess whoever is
Oh
participating.
yeah, uh, like a quote working name is like approved creators probably or something like this.
Mhm.
Um, that's what you want to talk about for open
Well,
pods
I think it's a cool thing to discuss. It's a cool
or
idea.
like
See
featured
what
creators. Yeah, that's
feature
also like
creators.
how we can put it. Name doesn't matter. What it's actually is kind of people who want to make some sort of content on open pods on Snappy. They would be approved to be featured on open pods. So people who are just even scrolling through what Snappy has to offer. They're gonna see the accounts of these people and maybe schedule of their live events that they are wanna be doing. Like if it's streaming, if it's I don't know, maybe some uh, talks. Like for example, I still want to host some debates or discussions on open posts, but people are not really used to probably to this format yet, so they are
Yeah.
not really joining. Like some people joined to listen, but they was hesitant to like join and talk. Um, but it's okay. Like small steps, small steps. Um, but technically you can do anything on open pods if you want to do like streaming or calls, and you can also stream from open pods to Twitch or YouTube, and it's like pretty easy to do. um, like you need to do it with the virtual camera for now, through OBS, but it's still less computing power than if you do it from your computer. So that's a big plus. Yeah.
Yeah.
But featured creators, yeah, it's people who want to do some content, and we can talk to them what they want to do. They can be approved, quote unquote, and they will be featured on open pods. Other people will see them and see their schedule of what they want to do. I think it's a pretty good idea, and it gives
I like it. Yeah.
users of Snappy more to look at. You know?
It also maybe to add to that, we could make it to where if you're an approved or whitelisted, as Bushcraft is saying, inside your profile on Snappy, or maybe next to your avatar, there could be a like a open pod uh, streamer or something clever. I mean, I think
Yeah,
the name
that's
has
the
to
thing
be,
that you wanted to do. Some badges or something,
yeah, badges.
and one of the badges can be like approved open pod creator or something like this.
Approved open podist. Open
Openly
pod,
approved.
openly approved
Open podists
podologist.
is, yeah,
Open podist.
yeah,
Something. I mean, I try not to be too serious with Snappy, so being silly would be kind of cool.
yeah. It's
But
okay.
yeah, I love that idea. Uh, well, as of yesterday, I went to bed really late again because I'm an idiot. Um,
Aren't we all?
I Yeah, I added the ability um, to schedule your events on OpenPods now. So if you go to Snappy.io and you go to the OpenPod tab, um, you don't have to ask for permission for this. You sign in and then you can create the event. And I think it's pretty intuitive how to use it, and it would show up on Snappy.io front end for now. One of the challenges of this whole thing is getting other front ends to incorporate some of these things. Because ideally, even though they might not want to host the OpenPod SDK themselves, maybe they don't want to. The ability for it to show maybe there's one happening and give people the link so they can go check it out. They can. I think
Yeah, that would
would
help.
benefit the whole community. But I should just try to talk to Good Karma and um, Asgarth from Ecency and Big D respectively, and see if they're interested. Obviously you can't force them, but Big D is
It would help for sure. It's also like I
yeah.
don't think Big D has like open pods like implemented yet on them.
No, no, they don't.
So it can be another like way for their community to talk to each other as well. So
Yeah, something I'll say. I am actually working on this, and well, not just me, but TipFox. It's all open source, all of it. So like all the stuff can be looked at um, by other teams and more or less audit, make sure that we're not doing something that you're not supposed to do or it's unsafe. But at the same time, also we're building SDKs. Do you know what an SDK is, Ankalagon? You know what that is?
a little bit, but you should probably tell it if people who are gonna listen or watch it not know what it
The
is.
the best way you can think of SDKs, or if I had to explain it, is an SDK is like a mini app for your app. So let's say that I have I create a this right here, this OpenPod app, which is an app inside Snappy.io. And in order for me to tell somebody else, like tell PicD or SNC or any other platform for that matter, hey, you should have open pods, you can go two routes. You could say, here's my code, copy it, which I guess you could, but it's not very efficient. Or you could create a package they can install inside their front end, and literally, if because most people make web apps in JavaScript and TypeScript and whatnot, they use a node package manager, and they put, in the case of npm, which is the bigger one, npm install space snappy slash hangouts, and boom, it installs the hangouts on their front end. And they just got to tweak it, oh, let me add a little bit of these colors here, more aligned with my front end and all stuff, but it's already there. So all the heavy lifting is done for the front end. They literally just install it. So we're building these things like SDKs so that anybody that wants to integrate them doesn't have to. I mean, not almost doesn't have to code. Just install it. Put a link to it. That's it.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Um, and it just helps a lot to do this stuff because
Yep.
like I can see how just copying a code is not really ideal because then you like you need to do another addition to now you broke my recording by adding someone else.
Oh, did I for real?
Yeah, so now I need to it's okay, I fixed it. Um
Ah,
because
I brought
I have a
Mengao
scene
in, yeah,
here, so
because
yeah.
he might want to say something
Yeah, it's
earlier.
okay.
Yeah,
So yeah,
we were
because
talking about Mengao earlier. Maybe
if
he's
you do I understand it correctly, if you copy, like if you building open pods and then I'm copying your code and trying to add something, then we basically have like two different apps that work like a little bit different, right?
Yeah, I mean, but that's one issue. I guess you could get a point of being incompatible, but maybe that's not a bad thing. Arguably so. You could say, well, I just have a different idea, or I want to incorporate it differently.
Mm-hmm.
But because we're trying to build something that uh, can be consumed by different front ends,
Mm-hmm.
then, and we're not trying to build silos. So the idea would be, if you install my SDK, then Snappy IO users will see people making open pods from 3Speak TV, which, by the way, it's already live over there, although it's an older version. But if you were on 3Speak TV right now, you could access this open pod and watch and chat and all this stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And
If
then
Essence incorporates it, yeah, it
yeah, if
becomes
it's
a
SDK, if it's SDK, then you can just uh do it on any platform and it's all going to be the same with like small changes of maybe like how UI looks, right?
yeah,
But if
yeah.
you copy code, then some stuff might broke between platforms and it's not going to be
I
compatible.
mean,
So,
yeah, I mean, you could, again, this is open source. You could, set up your own live kit servers, which is what's really working at the core of OpenPods. That's like
mhm,
in the back end.
mhm, mhm.
And you could set up all those things yourself and do your own thing. Call it something
Yeah, but
different. That's
but then it's going to be not like people from OpenPod won't see the thing that you made.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
you're
the
creating
core, yeah, the core point of the open pods is that people can see it from like anything that it's implemented in. So
that's
and
right.
then they can go in and chat with each other and discover other communities through this as well.
Exactly. That's the idea. I mean, in an ideal world, SNC would have it, and PeakD would have it, and what, all the major front ends would have it. I Well, there's three major front ends. You have Hive.blog, which is the I, I know that Mengao and Bushcraft probably knows this, but I don't know if you do, Anka, but Hive.blog is the first one, and that is like the basic front end for Hive. Nothing wrong with it per se, but it's kind of basic. And then PeakD and SNC are the ones that kind of took over, and they are the flagship apps of Hive. Um, some would argue. So if they were to take, no, maybe not Hive Block, but if those two were to take any implementation of any idea that anybody would have, you could call it a success on Hive. You could call it a success.
Mm,
Uh, I mean, but they have implemented stuff that we've done. Like you on when we finish this recording, the audio of the podcast itself, what you will be able to listen to it from.
three
Um,
speak.
Mengao is saying, funny thing I heard this week is the Hive blog is still the front end with most visits. Yeah, I think it's because of the name. But it's obviously not the best front end, but the name Hive, So it's like, oh, it's a Hive. I got to use Hive. Sadly, but it's not. It's barely maintained. A lot of stuff. I actually submitted a pull request, a pull request to update the video player. Like this was like 6 months ago, and I quickly discovered that they were basically phasing it out. They weren't interested in updating it, and I had to really insist until they did. Um, you don't like SNC bushcraft? I find it to be kind of like New York Mets and what's the other team? Like I don't know
Don't
shit
ask
about this.
me. I don't know any of
Yeah,
them.
but it's kind of like the people that love SNC hate PD and the other way around. Um, it's got to be the indexing, yeah. But anyways, um, the goal also with these things is to get Peak D and SNC to incorporate, if not the entirety of these SDKs, maybe a bridge of sorts, so people can click on them and kind of go and to the app and participate of. So for example, it could be. It's by the way, I don't know if you know this, but the idea of snaps, I think began with Peak D. I'm not 100% sure of this one. Maybe Mengao uh, can tell me if this is the case because he's the one that created uh, the breakaway communities, okay, that we have here now, who hasn't said a word. By the way, you can talk, Mengao, if you want to. Oh, Threads was the first. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. That's from Leo and Leo, which is more like a crypto centric short form platform. I have my reservations about that app, but they still have users and they have a strong community, I think. But at any rate, um, they, in my opinion, PD kind of set the standard for like general purpose, short form content on Hive, and it kind of changed the mentality of the people on Hive, because back in the day, short form was looked down on. Like people, no, 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 you got to write blogs. You got to do. It's got to be. You got to put a lot of effort. What do you mean you're sharing a meme? And they will get really. I don't know what you would call it. It's like purity testing, elitist, in my opinion, very stupid uh, attitude to have. But it was a thing, and now that Peaky became so popular and has so many users, then they don't care. And of course, fast forward a year later after Snappy launched, and we have the most users on short form app of all the front ends. Um, funny, it's, Mengao saying, I'm just saying it because people are going to listen, not read the chat. Mengao saying, funny, X Vlad started using posts as containers for Skate Hive around the same time as in Leo, but I think they were first. Yeah, that is interesting. I did not know that. I So you mean to tell me Skate Hive is older than Leo? Is that what you're telling me right now? Because if this is true, you're gonna blow my mind. I thought Skate Hive was maybe a couple years old. Um, well, another thing I want to share regarding Snappy.io, since I'm gonna do share my updates on Snappy.io. So I said the open pods are live now. You have scheduling. We have there's an upgrade also on video uploads on Snappy.io. Snappy.io now has its own ingest server isolated from 3Speak. That means that you're not sharing bandwidth or the uploads with 3Speak, which would make it faster. Um, then and you can upload both short form from the snaps or long form from your block composer from Snappy.io. The block composer on Snappy IO now allows you to post to the Snappy community or post to any community that you are subscribed to. That's another update that was done this last week. Um, you can record long form podcast also from your blog post, or maybe if you would like to read your post and do like a narration, you could as well. All that is live. None of this is a roadmap. This is already live. Then another thing that got integrated this week, and I think you liked it too. I know Bushcraft liked it. So there's an activity counter that
Yeah, it's a nice touch.
yeah, that was actually Mengao's idea.
Oh,
And
that's really cool.
yeah, uh, Skate Hive has been around longer than me. Joined 2021. Wow, check that out. Did not know that. Yeah, Mengao was he showed me like a mock up of how he believes Snappy could improve, and one of the things I had was like an activity idea, and then we discussed how the logic, how would you do it, and so the way it's done is through windows of activity. So it takes the last half hour of the blockchain, and it adds up how many unique users are doing stuff, and then it just but it catches that information, so it's not doing it over. It's doing it through a window system. So let's say 5 minutes go by, looks at the last 5 minutes, subtracts the things that happened in the 5 minutes that expired, adds the ones. That's how it's doing it. It's doing it through a window. And I have to say I'm surprised to the amount of activity because I thought it was going to be lower. But there's some times so it's gotten up to like 4,000. Um, do auto votes count as activity? Currently, yes, because I don't have the blockchain does not have a way to distinguish if something is done by a bot or it's done by a human. So it's not accurate in that sense. I don't have a way. There's no way for you to know if a vote was done with Hive vote. There's no
Probably
way.
only like some manual way to like exclude accounts.
Um, Mengao, would you please elaborate? Mengao is saying that you can distinguish. How would you? You can open your mic, Mengao, if you want to talk. Yeah,
Um, can you hear me?
yeah, loud and
Yes.
clear.
Um, it's I'm pretty sure that Hive.vote, which is what everyone uses, uses posting authority. So you can check if the vote was done by Hive.vote or by the actual user. Because when
Ah,
Hive.vote does using posting authority, they're the ones voting using the user's posting authority. So it's on. I'm pretty sure it's on the blockchain that you can see that the vote was done by high vote.
that's interesting. Okay, I understand. So
I,
basically, what you're saying is,
we would need to. I'm shooting this here just but I didn't actually look into it to tell you for sure. But I'm pretty sure this is how it works. And
yeah,
Bushcraft said about the pick the auto voter, you would be the same thing. You just need to check if the vote was done by the actual user or by pick D using the user's posting authority.
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna
So
look
you can
into it. That makes sense because
distinguish both.
yeah, that doesn't make sense because you would if you're using posting authority, the account signing the operation would be the one that has the authority and not the actual account.
Exactly. So who's actually signing is not the actual account, is the voting, is the high vote or pick D auto voter.
Makes sense. hmm All right. Well, I guess I can fine tune it like that.
That's another idea to fine tune the tool.
Yeah. By the way, I mean, I know the guys, everybody here knows this, but if you're listening to this later on, you find this video on 3Speak I guess we can slap it on YouTube as well. Um, this is all for the community, so to speak, and it's open source, so you can contribute. So, like, if you listen to the stuff and you're like, oh no, this should be done like this, and you have an idea and you want to submit a pull request, by all means, Mantequilla Soft free polls are open, um, and you can submit. With that note, Mengao submitted a PR this week himself that got merged. Um, all right, so I guess I want to talk a little bit about on this call what three Speak is doing right now as well. Although Tips is not here, three Speak had a relaunch about a week ago. This is the fourth relaunch, I think, since we took it over. And I said we took it over, meaning the development, not the Three Speak still belongs to the community. It doesn't belong to me or to Tipbox. But we changed the layout again. Open pods are incorporated. They are live right now on Three Speak TV. You'll and I think maybe later on today or possibly tomorrow, you'll have also the chat incorporated on Speak as well. Uh, the chat was initially incorporated on Snappy. Bushcraft and Ankalagon know about it. We chatted there. They gave me a lot of ideas to improve it, and it's done with push notifications. So it's actually like a real deal. It's a real chat app, um, and and Three Speak is going to be another consumer. And how are we doing that? It's because of what we were discussing earlier. It's done as an SDK. So like anybody who wants to incorporate the chat can incorporate the chat. Um, one of the things that is frustrating to people about Hive, and I hear them, and I have to say I understand it, and possibly sometimes feel frustrated too, is repeat work. You know, like you and I might come up with improvements for open pods, and we do it, and the open pods is great, and then another guy on Hive would be like, you know what, no, I want to do my own thing, and they'll even fork it or not, just build another idea, and it's the exact same thing, and nobody wants to use each other's uh, SDKs so that we don't build the silos. I hope that doesn't happen with open pods, but it did happen with the chat. Peak D has their own chat, and SNC has their own chat. Did you know that, Anka? Did I tell you that? Or no?
No, I didn't know, but like at one point, someone from like this three guys should be just like, well, I guess fuck my idea. I'm gonna use your guy's idea. Give me as the key, so I can do this. I can
Yeah,
implement it.
I and this is not to bash anybody, but I tried incorporating SNC's chat. I did. I worked on it for weeks. I sent them documents of like, hey, this is happening. Hey, this is happening. It's not, and they were like, oh yeah, we're gonna look into it. I know they're busy with stuff, and it never worked well. Um, you could use it, but it never worked well. And then it broke because I did some updates, and then I went back in the documents, and I was like, why is it not connecting? And there was no change, and I just got crazy, and I'm like, okay, that's it,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
done.
like, what
And I
can you
built my
do? We need to take
uh,
all these guys, put them in one room, and like force them to talk to each other and fix their shit.
Bushcraft is saying this is what's happening with microblogging. Talking about uh, repeat effort. Yeah, for sure. It is happening with microblogging. Uh, right now, we have micro blogging apps. Obviously, Waves, which is done by SNC. We have um, Threads and Leo. We have Like To, which is like a more picture focused. Then we have Skate Hive, which I think is pretty obvious what it's about. Uh, Obviously, Snappy, and arguably Dbuzz, although I think yeah, Moments is the one that like to use. That's correct. Uh, Dbus is still like a thing. I'm not sure. Somebody told me that they were out, so they're closing shop. So all these micro apps, I do think it died too, which is which is kind of sad. But things happen. A lot of things are happening right now in the market. That's kind of crazy. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Michael Saylor, who I think is going to be he's going to be the criminal of the century very soon. The other day came out and said because he used to say I'm never going to sell my crypto, all the crypto that I'm buying, I'm never going to sell it, and apparently he sold. Um, and then they said, well, no, I always said that you shouldn't sell, but I had to sell. So now that's creating more FUD and blah blah blah. Yeah. But it's you know who Michael Saylor is, Angalawan?
Nope,
Have you any
but sounds like a guy who hold a lot of crypto.
Yeah, Michael Saylor is has this initiative called Strategy or something like that. Bushcraft can correct me if I'm saying it wrong. MicroStrategy, I think that's the name. And they have the most insane war chest of bitcoins. Like I think they hold the most bitcoins in the world right now. They keep on buying it, but they're kind of using it like a pyramid scheme because the idea is that they're buying it on behalf of their investors, and the investors don't have the bitcoins,
Oh
but they
wait,
have
I
like a
heard
swap.
about them.
It's really
Yeah,
weird. It kind of defeats the purpose of crypto to begin with. I think it's pretty dumb, but
and
some people don't want to learn it. So
I don't understand the idea. Like they basically saying like, give us money, we're gonna buy crypto, and you're gonna earn interest on that crypto. Like, why can't you buy crypto yourself and earn interest
yeah,
on the
I mean,
crypto?
exactly. That's why it's so weird. I don't understand it. I mean, I haven't heard a compelling case for the need of this. It's
Especially because like it's a American market, so like you
yeah,
you can just buy crypto. It's not like it's under sanctions or anything.
yeah. I don't understand it. And
Well, but that's the first step of buying crypto is usually that way because people still have no idea how to do it, so they end up buying through a fund or even a centralized exchange, which end up being the same because you've seen other exchanges that failed and took everyone's money. So
I
so
know.
yeah, I think it's how you get your feet wet, and I think it's fine. But in the long term, I think people should learn to hold their own keys. That's how it should be. But I don't see it as a bad thing for having a way for people to get their feet wet without learning how to actually do it.
I guess I
Yeah,
can grant that much. Uh, but if
Because
if if you
and,
were
and we're doing this right now with Snappy, right, for the
yeah.
onboarding.
Yeah, that's the other thing that we have on Snappy now that I don't know if I mentioned it already. Like we
not yet.
Snappy now has custodial accounts, which is which is controversial on Hive to say the least. But the idea, this is also a conversation I had with Mengao. Mengao for this is like maybe going on a year and change now. Mengao and I have have a lot of conversations regarding design, like software design ideas, and so this was his idea. I'll give him credit. And the idea of Snappy Auth, which is what I'm naming it, is if you if you want to onboard somebody on the Hive, uh, the friction is crazy because they have to learn, they have to learn keys, they have to learn what to use what key for, how to store them properly, and what have you. And that can be not only intimidating, but also it can just really make somebody's not be interested. Because somebody that doesn't it's not crypto native, somebody that doesn't use these things maybe doesn't really see the value of
It's just
crypto.
high friction. Like, yeah.
High friction, yeah. So you're asking them to spend all this time learning to something to see if they like it. It's almost like, hey, you want to cook for 7 hours this meal, and then we'll see if it's edible, kind of thing. Nobody's going to do it. Uh, so the idea of Snappy Auth, and it's live right now. It's like, and I encourage anybody who's listening to this to give it a try. You could send the Snappy IO to anybody and tell them, hey, create an account, and they can sign in with an email, sign up with an email, or with any email, or with Google. And obviously, Google is faster. It will create a custodial account, so that means that the keys are held by Snappy. I obviously have this encrypted on the database. It signs all the operations for the user. But the next step, which of course it's very important, just like Mengao was saying, is that you can at any point in time emancipate. So what does that mean? It means that through a very simple process, you can get your keys out of the system, and then Snappy would delete the keys, and then that's it. You're on your own. You leave the nest. I would encourage anybody after that to, of course, change their keys. That's something you also need to learn how to do. Um, but the system will allow you to do all operations on Snapio, all of them. You can send money, you can receive money, you can open pods, you can post, you can do whatever you want, 100% from Snapio with the custodial system. So, in my opinion, this is needed because it brings the Web 2 like experience to Web 3. But of course, the critics of it would be, but like, that's not real crypto. They're going to tell me that's not real crypto. You're basically a Michael Saylor of Hive right now, selling
But
people fake
it
crypto.
but you're not selling fake crypto. You're just selling accessibility and a way for them to join easier, and then if they caught by the like what you can offer, they can learn later how to use it properly. So like it's actually a good thing. Like you can't see it as a bad thing. It's just not possible.
Yeah, there's a purity testing happening on crypto that I think has really uh, broken the brains of crypto native folks, where they think everybody has to be a computer nerd. And I'm saying this as one. I am a computer nerd, and that's not the reality of most people. They're not interested. It's not, computers are just a tool they use. It's not like this fascinating thing where you can spend 10 hours a day in front of, you know. But for them, what I'm doing, what Snappy Auth is, it's basically heresy. Heresy.
Well,
Um,
it's good we're an atheist, you know.
yes. Uh,
They can preach fell on deaf ears. So
yeah. The Bushcraft is saying that a lot of accounts on Hive are ghost accounts. Um, yeah, sadly so. There's I don't know, millions at this point who are uh, that are ghost accounts. But this will allow people to not have ghost accounts at all. Like if you're not going to be like a full blown like investor on Hive, you just want to use it. Just want every now and then you post some stuff. But to you, if you make $5 in a month, that's fine. Um, and you can just use the Snappy Auth for the rest of your life. There's not something I should say. This is at Mengao's request, and I think he was right. I initially was thinking, because I was gonna get pushback for this, that I was gonna block accounts after they reach a certain dollar valuation. Meaning, if they were to reach $50, no more. You can't use it until you emancipate. But Mengao believes that's to be a terrible idea, and I think, and I agree with him, because then people are gonna be like, "What is this? They're blocking my stuff. They're not gonna understand." So now what it does is, if you are above a certain amount, which I put $25 for now, if your account is worth more than $25, it's gonna show you in your profile in the wallet. It's gonna show you, hey, consider emancipating. Consider. So it's just at this point in time, is suggesting you do it,
yeah, it's a good
not
idea to
forcing you.
suggest. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Uh, yeah. My doggies are making noise. All right, so to finish with 3Speak, we what I said, we relaunched it. We have open pods now live on 3Speak. We are about to launch the chat on 3Speak. There's been a full migration of the 3Speak videos to a new system. I've said this before and on blogs, but I'll put on this video too. We had to really condense a lot of the servers that we were using for 3Speak, because we went from having I'm not even kidding, $5,000 budget every month to run a video platform, to running it right now for like $500 a month. That's kind of what we're doing, which I think it's insane. You know,
It
that you can
is.
run a video platform for $500 a month. But at these prices, crypto being in the gutter like it is, it's not even. It's either that, or then shut it down. You know. So what this means is that the servers now are doing multiple functions. So we have currently like 4 servers. They're tiny little servers, and they're all doing a bunch of stuff. But because we condensed, we also changed the encoding system, and the encoders have to upgrade the encoders. By the way, Anka, I should get you to fire up one
Yeah,
of the
you should.
encoders and tell
You
me.
you already told me that you should like 4 days ago or 5 days ago, and we never get to this.
Yeah, yeah. I guess we're gonna do it today. Today, here I have a hard stop in like 50 minutes because the AC guy is gonna show up, uh, and we're gonna go work on on a broken AC for my mother-in-law. But after that, when I come back, we should do it. I want,
Yeah,
and
for
this
sure.
same goes for bushcraft. If anybody wants to try to install the encoder, even just so they can give me feedback on how difficult or how easy it is to install, that would be great. Um, but the idea of the encoders is that we have this is also done now. We have a, a way to pay people who yeah, you just need a computer connected to the internet. That's all you need. um, people who are helping us encoding videos. So like before, 3Speak had encoders that computers dedicated just to encode videos. Now the community is helping. So that means that when you connect to the system, your computer will download raw videos that people are uploading. They're not compressed. Would make them into compressed formats, 480 most of them. If you have a premium account, they will do different qualities, but 480 for the rest, and then we'll upload to our video storage, the videos, and we are keeping track of all those, that are being done by who. And then on Sundays, if you were to check on 3Speak's account right now, a report gets posted of it, and then beneficiaries go to the people that helped with the encoding. And we're also building a dynamic system that looks at video per video, who encoded what, and does like small payouts. So but this is all automated. This is the first report I did, and then um, what's his face? Tim Fox is building the second one, which goes video by video. I'm doing raw counts. So basically, if there's one week had 500 videos, and you encoded 100, that means that 10% of whatever that post makes is yours. But uh, we are no 10%. No, that's 20%. Yeah, but we are going to do one where it does individual video by video, so it keeps track. If there's a video that had like a big payout, we were taking 11% from it, 1% would be to whoever encoded. And that's like a more complex system that Tip Fox is working on, but he's going to be done very soon. Um, so that's done. And then the last thing that I think people know but don't know enough. 3Speak already has the audio platform launched. Tip Fox has been working on it a little more. He cleaned up some layout issues, some bugs. But officially now, you can upload albums. If you're a musician, if you're a songwriter, and you have like albums of yours that you want to upload, you can. It does it like a
Pod
post on
cutter.
every song. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. It does like a post with all the information of the album, and then each song reply to that post. And then he built in a royalty program as well, with that is going to use
Nice.
uh, the premium account payments. So when we start getting premium users, a percentage of that is going to be allocated towards paying out people uploading albums, uh, and getting plays. And then there's of course the how do you make sure people don't bot it? So that, well, of course, I'm not going to reveal the formula, but we have this idea so that you can't just keep on playing, play, and inflate your numbers, because I'm sure people would churn. Um, so we're working on that. And I think that's it. That's it. Most of the updates. Ankalagon, you
That's
wanna you
that's
wanna
that's
share
a
your other
big good
ideas that you
chunk.
have? Huh?
I think it's a big good chunk. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
good. That's enough for today.
yeah, yeah. Oh, by the way, I'll put it on this video. See if people watch, if people listen to this, and what they think. Yesterday, when we were chatting with Robert, and we were hanging out in Jeet server. Like Anka and I were like at 1 a.m. because I'm an idiot instead of
Mhm.
sleeping. And Robert said to me, said, "Hey, you know what this really simple game you could build for open pods, and the idea would be it's a guessing game. Obviously, in real life, the way that it works, you put on like a little crown, right? And then
Mhm.
without looking at the card, you put a card in your forehead.
Mhm.
Everybody can see it. Obviously, you can't see it; it's in your forehead. And then you ask questions to people, and they can only answer yes or no. So you could say, for example, is this person famous? Yes, no.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then
That's a nice game.
so yeah, so building this on open pods would be somewhat easy, uh, it, because you don't have to do like a that's originally a poker game, isn't it? Oh yeah, I did not know that. you don't have to do like a AI floating card on the forehead or anything like that. That could be very resource consuming. You could have to where if you're playing a game, the your screen shows, if you're sharing your camera, then it shows your image in the bottom, and then on the top, it would show whatever card. Just split the screen. And if you're not sharing the camera, just show the card. But the idea would be you can only see everybody else's. You can't see yourself.
That's a good idea for a game. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's mostly done by humans. So like, there's not a whole lot to do coding wise.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mengao, of this game? I think it could be cool, and then people could you know come up with whatever they want. And then what would be interesting would be to have a collection of different genres, if you will, of this game. So it could be, for example, animals, you know, and then just random list of animals that would show up in cards. It could be famous people, and then the random list of famous people that show up in cards. The politicians, random list, and then of course with image URLs that you
Yeah,
feed.
this game is actually called Heads Up, and you can search online. You're gonna find it, and it's a super cool game. It's actually a very good idea to add to these open pods. I think it would work perfectly.
Oh, there you go. Mengao has spoken. Now I have to build it.
Yep. And then the and chess game as well.
uh, uh, yeah, we could build chess into
I would
Snappy.
try
Why not?
to wipe code uh the chess game.
Um, you know what? There's actually a pretty decent chess player on Hive. I don't know if I told you this, but he goes by uh, Samostikali. I think that's how you spell it. And he is grandmaster.
Oh damn.
Yeah,
There's not
he's
many of them.
is he a grandmaster? Or like, he's up there, but he's competed against grandmasters and stuff. He's the best chess player in this country, obviously. That's for
If
sure.
then he probably a grandmaster.
Yeah, so like, if we get him to start bringing people to play chess on open pods, that would be awesome. He makes videos about chess. That's like that's his passion, obviously. But you can look him up. Um, all right, so Tips Tips is online. Let me see if he will join for a second and say hi. Let me just tell him. Uh, there you go. Okay. Last 5 minutes before we call it a day. There's a couple of things that I want to be able to do this week, and I hope I can do this week. I keep on promising I'm going to do it, and then I don't. Uh, there's a um, there's a giant gap now between the the mobile app on Snappy and Snappy IO. Like, mobile app on Snappy now is it's very stripped down. Um, doesn't have a bunch of these features, and some people wrote to me on DMs, when am I going to incorporate them? I'm starting this week. It's just that I think maybe I'm wrong. I think that the best way to do this is to integrate quickly onto Snappy IO ideas, because I don't have to get anything approved by Apple Store or Google Store. And if something sticks and if something is nice and I get good feedback, then I can try to incorporate it on Snappy Mobile. But I'm also thinking that in Snappy Mobile, I'm gonna change out the layout and get more real estate out of it, because the current layout now looks outdated to me. Um, I got a laptop from my brother, so this is good stuff. He he gifted me his old Mac. Check this out. So now I can develop for Mac myself, and I can actually work on Snappy Mobile. And one of the reasons why I the Snappy Mobile app for Apple is so far behind is because I don't have Apple, and in order to develop for Apple, you have to have Apple. I can't even compile. And my brother was the one in charge of developing for Apple, but he's been really busy with work. And I keep on telling him, hey, can you try to compile the new one? And he's like, oh, it doesn't compile. I was like, oh, can you try to find out why? He's like, no, I don't have time. So now I have a computer. I'm gonna try to find out myself. By the way, Mengao, we can talk about this later. But you're an Apple user, right? You're like an Apple guy. I think he is. I don't know if he's listening anymore. But I need some Apple guidance because this thing is just
Yeah,
so
yeah,
slow.
I use Apple.
Yeah, you're an Apple guy. I might bug you then because I'm running out of space and I can't even find where. Like, why is this out of space?
Oh, Claude. Claude will help you. Install Claude code and tell Claude that exactly what you just said. Say, hey, I'm running out of space. I don't even know where to find it, and it's gonna find it for you.
Yeah, because it doesn't have, I can't do a df minus h or none of the nerdy stuff I know.
Just install Claude code and say, hey, I can't do anything. My disk is full, and I can't find where is it. How is it full? So
Yeah, I got
it's
like
gonna let you.
20.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like 20 gigs left on it, so it's slow right now. It's painfully slow.
No, you just ask Claude to help you, and it's gonna fix it.
All right. Well, I think this is gonna be it for the hangout. Ankalagon, thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for recording. I'm gonna I'm gonna make a post from Mantequilla Soft from the account that we normally use for this stuff, and if you pass me the video, then I'll upload it there, and of course I'll put you as a beneficiary for helping me out. And I think that's gonna be it. Anything you want to say before we hang up? Your audio is not working. Hmm? Something happened. Ankalagon has
It's a classic, you know, classic problem with computers and Windows. You know, they something can just randomly break.
that's right.
So what I wanted to say as well is, don't worry, mobile users. Everything okay. We are PC Master Race beta testing all the changes, so you get like polished, finished results
Yeah, that's
without
right.
any like bugs and mess. You're gonna get the best stuff. We are gonna test for you. That's nice. And yeah, I'm gonna see how to give this video file to you because Discord is not gonna take it. Discord is taking only 10 megabytes now. Hell yeah!
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah,
we can do it through WeTransfer.
yeah. We're gonna find a way. There's many ways how to do it. We're gonna install Skype.
There you go. All right,
Yeah.
guys. Thank you, Miguel, for hanging out. Thank you, Bushcraft, and that's it. I'm gonna kill the recording now. Bye.
Bye bye.